So here's my question for my evaluation. So it says, how does your media product present particular social groups? So with my magazine, I decided to aim it at an audience of young, middle-class, mostly white girls who are aged around 12 to 14. Because although they are going to be middle class, like their parents would have a bit more money to give them pocket money to buy music magazines, they're still placed in the psychographic social class of E because they're still in school and they're not earning their own money. So I've represented this through my use of a plug at the top where it says only £2.49. This would appeal to them because they have less money to spend and it seems a lot cheaper, and I know they'd be prepared to spend this amount of money because I found that out in my questionnaire, which when I gave out my questionnaire to this age group, they said they would be willing to pay around £2 to £3 for a weekly music magazine. So next, during my research, I found out that pop music artists are usually presented as very approachable, fun, quite innocent, not as sexual and aggressive as other genres such as hip hop and R&B. So because of this, I've made my model seem very happy, very smiley, very approachable, and also I've got them pulling kind of silly poses, very showy poses, such as here where she's got her hands on her hips, she's grinning widely, and here where I've got my main model, my main person, Cherish. She's posing blowing a kiss, and I've put Moi Charlie, who's her boyfriend, and she's bending over, she's laughing. And lastly, on my contents page where I've got a girl doing a selfie, which I know a lot of my readers take selfies, so it appeals to them as well. Through mise en scene, I've made my model Rachel, again on the front cover, I made her to be like this kind pop princess. So this is seen through her clothing, where throughout the magazine she wears bright colours. On the front cover, I've made her wear a pink top and a blue skirt, and this follows the house style of my magazine. As you see, my colour scheme is blue, pink and yellow, and they're all bright colours. They've all got connotations of happiness. So by clothing her in clothes similar to my colour scheme, it kind of gives the whole front cover kind of more professional feel because she ties in with it. Also, the colours are very girly, they're very stereotypical towards my audience, and I think that by seeing her on the front cover, my target demographic would want to buy my magazine. As well as this, I've made her very down to earth. As you see, she's wearing a pair of white Converses. These shoes are very typical to my intended audience. They are not too expensive, they're about £35–40, and I know that many of them do wear these at the weekend. Many of my readers will have purchased a pair because they own something that my pop singer also owns. They'll feel like they can kind of relate to her, and they can kind of connect with her. I've also complemented this idea by the use of direct address in many of my photos, where she's looking straight into the camera lens, so it's more like she's connecting with the reader. As well as this, the direct address through the male gaze theory, it kind of portrays my model as submissive because she's kind of conforming to the theory that women look into the camera and they're submissive, and this kind of reflects my mainstream target demographic because she's not rebellious, she's following the male gaze instead of trying to fight it by like looking away or like hiding her face. As well as this, I've introduced elements of new media into my magazine, as you can see on the contents page where I've promoted my Twitter, Facebook and Instagram pages. I know these are all popular with my intended audience, which I found out from my questionnaire, and also it's kind of a stereotype for a younger audience. They use the internet more than an older audience would. So this kind of reflects the younger audience again, because they're up to date with technology and everything's really fast. They always want to be updated. So yeah. Right, last point. I feel like the words I've used kind of reflect my audience as well. Like as you see, there's the most OMG issue yet, and also I've used words such as ream, celeb, selfie. Now these are all field-specific lexis for younger people, and it's words they would use themselves, and they can kind of relate to it more. This really reflects my audience, because if it was an older audience, I would use kind of a more formal tone, and I would use more formal words, and I wouldn't use these colloquial words. So this is how I'm going to appeal to my audience of younger girls.